This is mostly for the people that watch me play the game live and are asking me about my opinion. In short, I think this game is great. I think it's really awesome. I've been having a lot of fun. In the last 65 hours of gameplay, I've had a lot of fun. Here we go, I'll just go over some key points. My specs are these, which would indicate, of course, that I have a pretty high-end CPU. Of course, high-end, like a good motherboard with CPU combo with the right amount of RAM and a very fast SSD on top, which helps with the towns. When I'm in town, my frame rate barely does drop. It's great. Now, for lower NPCs, of course, when you're in a town, you're gonna have some lag, and that's just the game, and they should optimize that. And of course, pretty high-end GPU also, the RTX 480. I bought this 3 days ago. This helps with performance out in the open. And when I crank it up to the maximum and turn on DLAA, 100% resolution, the game looks amazing, stunning. They're pretty high-end, of course, it's very expensive. The gameplay takes precedence. The gameplay is great in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. Especially adore fighting the mutants. Fighting mutants is amazing. Fighting stalkers, same old. I don't really enjoy that much, like, fighting groups of stalkers. It sometimes gets exciting, but I feel like they could use some rebalance and accuracy changes. That's more like a balance type of thing. The game could overall use some rebalancing here and there. But the core gameplay and the gunplay is really good, really fun. And exploration, just going on missions. The whole gameplay loop and looting stashes is very sound and very good. I would say the exploration loot is the best it's been done in all 3 past games. This is the best one so far. Which of course brings us to the visuals. That this game looks absolutely amazing. And there's not much to say. This game looks stunning. I'm gonna go take a quick look. Game looks stunning. Zaton was already my favorite map ever in S.T.A.L.K.E.R. It was my favorite map in the S.T.A.L.K.E.R. franchise. It's just absurd. I'd like to be here, to be looking over an actual swamp here in game. Like I don't have any words. I'm playing this at 1440p. It's like I'm looking. It's like I'm looking at the game through a window. Not that I'm on monitor. I'm looking through a window in the S.T.A.L.K.E.R itself. Amazing. Which also brings us to the audio. The audio, as you can hear, is very good. And when it starts storming, it gets even better. The gun audio also, like the gunplay audio. Everything about it. Everything about it, it's great. Lovely. So the visuals are on point. The audio is on point. Which brings us to the atmosphere of the game. A lot of people were speculating or feeling that the game wouldn't have any atmosphere due to the fact that it was on UE5, Unreal Engine 5. That UE5 would take away the atmosphere. I don't think so. I think this, if you can really get yourself immersed in the game world and roam around while exploring, this is the most immersive S.T.A.L.K.E.R has been, for sure. A baseline. There are mods, of course, that are very immersive. Okay, I do not like the bloodsucker death screen. That's one of the negatives I have about the game. I think it's awful. Dialogue, voice acting, animations, all of this is amazing. It's just a showcase of random dialogue, but I enjoy... I enjoy all the good moments in this game. The writing, the plot, the story seems to be very high quality. Definitely infinitely better than whatever Call Pripyat and Clear Sky had at the time. Like, no, that writing was not my thing. Shadow of Chernobyl is a very well written game for the time. And can be compared to a good book or movie. We'll have to see. I'll have to finish the game to really judge if this game has better writing and story and plot than Shadow of Chernobyl. But so far, it's really good. So far, the early game is definitely better than what S.O.C had going for it in the mid game. Shadow of Chernobyl starts out very strong and gives you a good lead and like a good flow into the gameplay to go out there and find S.T.A.L.K.E.R. But after that, it kind of falls apart towards the middle part. And at the end, it gets really good again. But I feel like in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, it slowly ramps up. It's a slow ramp up towards even better story. But we'll see if the climax of the story is worth it. There are many endings. We'll have to see that. Which brings me to the final point. It's just a little bit of bugs and issues that we have in the upcoming mods. So far, I've had one major bug, the doors to the Skaldovsk wouldn't open up. We are the Skaldovsk here. They just wouldn't open up. I came back later and they did open up, so it was eventually fixed. Also, of course, the major issue is that we don't really have working A-Life. It's in the files. A-Life is working in villages. It is working like in towns. The NPCs in towns are doing their thing, their daily routine. But out in the open there isn't really much A-Life. But it's basically just dynamic spawns and patrols, mostly. And story-related spawns. That needs fixing, of course. Now, the fact that UE5, we already have so many mods. We already have so many mods and fixes. That's such a good thing, guys. This is such a good thing. So my final opinions on the game currently. We are still on the release update. We are still on patch 0. We're on patch 0. This is the floor of Stalker 2. We are currently at the floor of the game. If I can already have so much fun with the floor, the absolute lowest point this game will ever be. The lowest ever. Where we are right now. Like, if I can have so much fun with the game. We are in a really good spot, and I am glad I waited. We've been waiting 13 to 15 years, depending on how long you've played Stalker. It's been a long wait, but I think it's worth it. We are at the floor, and it's gonna only get higher from here. And the mods are gonna be exciting too. Just gonna briefly touch upon the multiplayer. They're gonna put in a PvP mode at some point. I'd rather they go mod support tools than make a multiplayer deathmatch mode first. Yeah, that was about it. I rate this game a solid 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. In the current state, because it is really good and the story really grips you. But the gameplay would need some expanding upon with mods or patches. That is my final opinion. So, good hunting out there, stalkers, and have a great day.